Hey guys, what's going on? New tone test day. So I've got this Kamikaze one, which I absolutely love this guitar. I'm not really a bolt-on neck guy. This is by far the best bolt-on neck I've ever played. So I keep this one around. Love the guitar, killer growl, killer bite, super responsive to your hands and your picking. The only thing that I don't care about the guitar is when I'm playing certain notes and I kind of got a really digging attack, but then when it goes to ring out, I feel like the sustain kind of dies off rather quickly. So I started looking into it. And this thing, you know, it came with a 32 millimeter factory, and this is a brass Floyd Rose sustain block, but it's nickel plated. You know, it's got the standard springs, and also the standard springs are really noisy, you know, kind of annoyingly so, honestly. So what I did is I went and I picked up a 37 millimeter oversized brass block from FU Tone and some heavy duty noiseless springs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap them out. I'm going to do, you know, a clean riff, a rhythm riff, a lead riff, just something simple, and do it before, swap out the parts, do it again after, and then let's see if we can hear a difference in tone, and I'll leave everything exactly the same between, so I won't even touch the rig. I'll be doing this on my 2B Collie. You can see the settings. Only thing is I'm going to go between channel 1 and channel 2, and down here I'll go between, you know, the bridge pickup with the Screaming Demon and the neck pickup, just the little single coil in there. So let's check it out and see if we can hear some solid tonal upgrades. All right, thanks guys. Okay, so what do I think about the noiseless springs? Well, they are less noisy than the stock springs, I will say that. So it's an improvement. It is still nowhere near as quiet as a fixed bridge, and not even as quiet as one of my Kahlers. But as far as Floyd's go, it's probably about as good as it's going to get. So I am still happy that I got them. Cheap upgrade, looks cool, and they're heavier duty spring, which I actually wanted because I play some pretty heavy strings. So recommended. All right, so here's something interesting, the volume. I didn't touch any settings on anything between switching out the blocks. When I came back with the new brass block, tried to do the first recording and I was just banging into the red on the mic. So I actually had to turn the preamp gain on the mic down a significant amount because it was just louder. So that was kind of a thing that I didn't really expect, is that for whatever reason, the resonance changed in the guitar, how it runs through the pickups, and the output is louder. So cool. Loud. Guys, so there it is. So I wanted to follow up with some thoughts now that I've actually done the deed. All right, so I swapped in the block, and you see it here, and the springs, and you just heard me play the A-B between the two different setups. So what are my initial thoughts? My main goal here was I wanted it to have more sustain after the attack. So before, I'd hit it and I just felt like it really had this kind of fast slope that things decayed off. And with the mod, yeah, definitely, there's definitely more sustain. Another thing that I've read about, which is true, is there's actually more definition when you're chording in terms of like the definition of the individual notes. I totally feel that as well, so that's a good thing. It is also more warm. I read that. So it's got more definition and it's more warm, which are things that I read about it, and I totally agree. The one thing that I will say is that it did roll off some of the top end bite that this thing had. This is a really snotty guitar, and that top end bite was kind of cool, even though you had to really be careful with it. And this did roll that off. So I'll take it because, I'm happy with a lot of these other things. I kind of like the snotty bite that this thing had, but it is what it is. So you can kind of expect that as another thing as well. So, but I'll take it. And the only real downside so far is because the block is so big, now I can only backbend the tremolo like about that much. There's where it stops. So unless I wanted to take the guitar apart and get in there with a router or something and remove some wood from the back, which honestly I really don't want to do. With this big block in there, I'm not going to have more than maybe like a half step pull up availability on the tremolo when it's set properly, which is flat. Obviously you've still got all your downward range. So that's a downside, something to be aware of. But overall, I think it's totally worth it. So anyway, you've heard the tones. Check it out and weigh in what you guys think. Another note on this video, because this is really splitting hairs, I wanted to use my Lava Vandenhall guitar cable. This is a super, super high-end guitar cable, and it's unreal what this thing does for tone when you AB, and it's very precise. It lets everything through. It's not hiding anything. So when I get into really splitting hairs, I like to use that cable because it really does make a difference. And yeah, we're really looking at some fine points here. So that's that. Check it all out and let me know what you guys think. All right, later.